By the
We'll
way,
see.
as a coach, especially someone who likes to play with the draft, with this particular lineup of players, you must have a lot to work with too. Because if I think of people like the joke is, Hans Sama didn't just have a bounce back year. He came into a world where you can play fucking Draven and Callista. That's like just what the doctor ordered. And that when everyone's seen Mickey X, one of the reasons why probably was the MVP of Europe is he had all the meta champions and then all a bunch of pocket picks and weird shit and lanes no one else had. Broken Blade, I think, showed quite a lot of different picks this year as well. Like you've got quite a deep bag in terms of players you're working with there. Like they're giving you a lot of options, right?
Yeah, it's always easier to be on a team with like more talent, you know. So it's good. They play a lot of champs. Then at that point, sometimes saying no is actually the skill that you need to have.
Okay, right. I see. Okay.
You know?
Knowing when they're going too far with the idea.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right, okay. By the way, that's you say that jokingly, but that is probably the one downside as an outsider that people could observe within G2 is that the team does still seem to heavily lean into that sort of like fun vibe or like, you know, oh, we're just trolling when we lose and stuff. Do you have any concerns in that regard? Like, do you have a good read on them in terms of, like you say, when to shut them down or when to get them to be more serious? Have you got that balance yet?
I think we're so much less trolly with our approach to the game and draft than past iterations of G2. Actually, okay. I think like I just think we're so scarred from what happened since Spring Split when we lost actually, and I think I don't feel at all that we're like, oh my god, let's play this because it's crazy and maybe it could work. Actually, I haven't felt that for the past month or two.
You have to understand, Monty, Dylan has a really hard life. Right? You have to understand, there's one time he wakes up sweating, oh, I remember that time I lost the final to Rogue when I did win the other split.
Oh,
then this
please.
year, I had this other one. I didn't win all the splits this year either, Monty. It's been a hard year, you know, but whatever. I'll see if I can get by, you know. I've only got what?
I also just love that he talks about, you know, this horrible scar.
To me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Except it's like if you did Vietnam to yourself and then got scared.
True.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, true. Indeed.
You know, the government didn't draft you and send you to Vietnam. You actually just made Vietnam and put yourself inside it, Dylan.
Actually. So like our final troll pick mid game of that split, I think we played Malphite mid, right? And there was an alternate timeline in which instead of picking Malphite mid, because we were talking about it on stage. I'm sorry, I'm going to leak. I'm sorry if Caps is watching, I'm going to leak this. There's an alternate timeline where we would have locked in RAMMUS mid instead of Malphite mid against Irelia. And sometimes we talk about what is the alternate reality where we pick RAMMUS mid that game, but we actually win the game.
Would it have won, by the way? Was it like some secret sleep OP?
It was against Irelia. Would we have won? I don't know. It would have probably been better than Malphite mid. If we lost, the same thing would have happened, right? We probably would have like switched some of the stuff we're playing and gone on. But if we had won that game, would have just been like the most troll picked split of LEC history, and we just would have seen like Cho'Gath mid, RAMMUS mid, like Caitlyn mid, like everything for a whole split. I don't know. Maybe it might have happened.
By the way, the reason why you really should have done that as well is because one, you lost anyway, so it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
Whether you win or lose, the story's amazing, isn't it? Like if you win, it's almost just as stupid as well. Like the idea you win with that as the pick on the 5th game, that's pretty ridiculous too. And yet also you would have just baited so many people who just follow the global bet. They just copied that pick. It would never work for anyone else ever, probably.
Yeah, we'll never know that timeline. It's like a movie, you know.
What is the reason why it's probably good that didn't happen, mate? What the fuck would you possibly do if Caps did actually pick RAMMUS and then won? Like, I hasn't just got carte blanche to do
my question to you as a coach, since you did lose that game, and now we have this existential question about would the RAMMUS pick have won? Was the mistake letting Caps cook too much or not enough?
Yeah, that's a mega paradox actually.
Yeah.
Too much. I think it's pretty clear actually.
Too much.
Because if you're asking if the RAMMUS would have won, then perhaps it was not enough, right? That's
yeah, true. The
thing is, like, yeah, go on.
It was Irelia, right? Because RAMMUS actually has a point and click lockdown for the Irelia to stop her from dashing around, but Malphite has an ult. But when she's dashing around, it just didn't look as good. I was just like picturing, anyways, enough on the RAMMUS mid, but I was picturing RAMMUS in that game and I was like, maybe it could work.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.